Hi, guys. Happy holidays. I thought I would start with a beautiful snow scene. It is a beautiful day here in Western Massachusetts, and I really wanted to share all of the winter joy with you. I'm Polly Jo Labbe. I'm your host for Chakra Sessions with Polly Jo Labbe, and we are here with a few days to winter solstice, and today is going to be all about the clearing energy that you can access during the winter solstice. We carry energy throughout the year in our body, in our homes, and all around us. And when we have these big celebrations, the equinoxes and the solstices, it's a reminder for us to take some time to do some clearing. So I hope you guys are able to take a chance to do that and have some beautiful ways to make room for new things to happen in your life. So happy holidays for all the holidays that you may be celebrating. And today we're really going to be focusing on winter solstice. That occurs on this Thursday. And we all celebrate the coming and going of the seasons in our own fashion. And winter solstice has this energy of this is when the sun was at its smallest. We had the least amount of light and the most amount of dark. And you can imagine in days before electricity that the more dark it became, the more fear got activated on the planet as a whole. And we are actually seeing some signs of that in the energy of people around us. There are a lot of people who are very anxious, who are very fearful. And I've had a lot of clients and students reaching out to me about fear and anxiety or even full-out panic attacks. And some of it is the ancient energy that is coming through to clear in this brand new way. And when we clear that ancient energy, we make room for a time of joy and celebration and peace. It's why there's so many holidays around this time, because people knew that they needed to gather together and bring comfort to each other and to have celebrations in joy, because joy and laughter dissipates all of the anxiety and worry that can come around when we have more darkness on the planet than light. So I just wanted to share some of that with you so that you could be in a place of owning your personal light. And as we are moving into this time, we're also noticing that it's time for us to hibernate. And in that respect, it is a time where we go inwards and we start thinking and really looking at ways that our life can change. We can do this all year round, but as a planet, we really tend to start thinking about how do we do that. And some people do it through the tradition of New Year's resolutions. But sometimes we make these big, big oversweeping ideas that there's no way we can hold up to them. And within a week or two, our resolution is out the door. But during winter solstice, I have a tradition here at Trinity Healing Sanctuary where we gather together, we share a meal, and in that space, we release anything in our life that doesn't work for us anymore. We write it out and we burn it in our sacred fire. But we also ask for those things that we would like to see more of. More joy, more peace, more abundance, more connection with our families, whatever that may be. And when you take the opportunity to do that with a group and in any type of ceremony that feels right for you, you increase the intention of the resolution coming true. And maybe it is that, you are ready to shed the extra pounds that you've used. I like to call that body armor. There are times when energetically we armor up. Things are out there that are making us uncomfortable, that are making the part of our survival body that takes care of our safety and security feels threatened. And so we often will put on weight to create a barrier. And until that energy has dissipated, and we will do some of that in today's meditation, you have to hold on to the weight because you need that protective layer. We don't walk around wearing armor the way we might have in ancient times. We might get locked up at the moment if we did that. So instead, we really look at what is going on for ourselves and how to make that happen. And then when you release the things that are causing you anxiety and causing you stress and making you feel uncomfortable, then things like weight can start to fall off just because you don't need it any longer. So there are a lot of things that work together energetically. And I do want to apologize for not getting this link out sooner to people. I have been without an assistant, so I will have one in the new year. And at the moment, it's a matter of I'm doing 3 jobs at once. So I forgot to get the link out early, and I truly apologize. But I hold space that you will see it in the replay and that we will be able to create that together. So welcome to anyone who is here to join us today. And I look forward to sharing this with you in the future as well. So today in the winter solstice clearing that we're going to do, really take a moment to focus on what's not working in your life. For me, I have some patterns that I need to release, some ways that I interact with other people, especially family members, where maybe our communication is not clear. And I want to release any barriers that I may have energetically to having open and honest communication with them. And the other energy that would be great for me to clear is the energy of disorganization. I often have organization around certain things and then other things not so well. I can be very organized with my school, and then my home life is a mess, and vice versa. So bringing this sense of balance into my own life in the new year, that is something that I am looking at, finding a way to clear that old energy, that old pattern of, losing track of when things are due, or losing ways of communicating with other people what needs to be done and at what time. It's not helpful if you have a family gathering and some people think it's at 12 and some people think it's at 1, because then people get resentful or judgy, and then it just could start everything on the wrong foot. So think about anything that you need to clear, in your life, and would like to start fresh in this new season. Because as you clear away the last of this, you kind of purge it out of your energy system. What happens is, as we go into full winter, it sort of gets composted and brought into a place so that by the time we hit spring, it begins to bloom. This whole new thing begins to bloom. So what a lovely opportunity for you to release some sort of energy that may be blocking you. And the cool thing is you don't even have to know what it is. You can just know that, you know, something's not working and you would like things to flow better, and that's how we can do it. So that is part of our winter solstice clearing that we're going to do today. And before we get to the meditation, I want to remind you ways that you can clear energy within your work environment or within your house. So one of the things that you can do, a lot of people talk about it, is to use sage. That is not always an option depending on where you are working. So there are some lovely sprays and essential oils that can help you with clearing. We have one here at the Trinity Healing Sanctuary that we use that's called Energy Detox. And what it does is it takes the toxins out of the energy in the environment. So you can spray it around the room, you can spray it on yourself, you can spray it in your car. I do encourage you not to spray it at your family members because they might not take it very well. But you can release the toxins off of you that you may pick up from the energy that may not be in the lightest fashion that you are coming across. That is one way. Another way to clear energy is to clean and clear. When we do our washing here, whether it's the floors or it's the bedding that we use for healings, we add salt, especially Dead Sea salt or Himalayan sea salt, to just a very tiny amount in with the water, because then it allows it to purify. And another thing that can help is to use candles. There's some ancient traditions about lighting candles, and that energy is very active on the planet today as well. So white candles are for clearing and for bringing more light. Dark candles are used more for protection purposes. But sometimes it's good to clear and then protect, depending on the space that you have. If you have been feeling anxious, or if you have been having, say, nightmares, you can first light a white candle and allow it to burn long enough for you to feel that it has cleared the space. And then you can use the black candle to protect. And it is all about intention, but it works in a very lovely way when you are able to do that. If you're not in a space where you can actually do that, where you can't light a candle and can't have a flame, believe it or not, even if you use a fake candle, one of the LED candles, you're still setting the intention that you've done it. So that can help as well. And, you know, one of the ways that we use to clear energy here as well is to use some crystals that are for that. So in the clearing energy, selenite loves to work for you, and so does clear quartz. They both are very good for clearing energy. You can use them on yourself, on your space. I use it around doors and windows as well, because, you know, negative things walk in on people when they're coming in your house or in your space. You can also use any regular form of crystal to ask them to keep the house clear, especially clear quartz. It loves to work for you however you want it to work, and it enjoys helping you keep your space clear. So that is another way that you can do clearing for the winter solstice. And there is an ancient tradition of sweeping, and you start at the farthest corner of the house and you sweep all the negative energy out the door. And even if it isn't, if it's only done energetically, like if you do it, you don't actually have to sweep, but you're setting the intention that you're sweeping the energy and asking it to leave and go out the door. That is helpful as well. And bringing in holly and rosemary at this time of year also brings good luck in the new year for you. So that can be, once you've cleared the energy, you can bring that in. And believe it or not, that mistletoe, it's not just about new love, it's about new energy. So you can bring that into your house once you've cleared it, to make room for beautiful new things in the new year. And I hope that you take a chance to do that. So we are going to do our personal energy clearing meditation now. We're going to take a moment to just take a deep breath and allow ourselves to get really centered. I like to focus on feeling the weight of my body and my bones, feeling heavy in the chair or wherever you're sitting on the floor, and just really take a moment to feel that space of connected, grounded energy. And as you do that, really feel underneath you the deep roots that you have connecting you to Mother Earth. All the layers and all the ways that you really deeply are rooted as an earth being. And then reaching up above you to the heavens, to the divine, to the oneness, however you perceive that. But imagine above you, reaching up to the highest light, the highest vibration that you can. And take a moment to call back any pieces of yourself that you've left distracted or scattered. Anything that will keep you from being in your core and in your center in this moment. You may have shopping to do or holiday things to prepare. But just in this moment, call all of that in gently. Yeah. So that you can access it. And so we surround and protect ourselves in this sacred space, inviting in all the divine that we are connected to, however we perceive that, so that this healing meditation is for the good of all and harm to none, which includes ourselves. Yeah. And as we do the clearing, you will hear me make gentle noises that will be releasing energy for you, for me, and for anyone who watches this, either in this moment or any future moment. Yeah. And it is my intention to be the clearest channel for you and for myself that I can be. Yeah. To help you heal what is no longer serving you. Yeah. So we're going to call on the energy of the cycles of the seasons, the wheel of life. We're going to ask our angels and our guides to help us clear ourselves as we connect with the clearing that occurs within the earth herself. Yeah. And so gently allowing it to begin at the top of your head, at the crown. We first release any beliefs or thoughts or patterns that are keeping us in old energy.
Yeah.
Or old perceptions about darkness.
Yeah.
And allowing the light to come in, filter and clear, and light the way for our healing.
Yeah.
You may feel pressure in your head. That's just all of the ways we become compressed into doing and being that are out of alignment with who we are. And we're going to open up our ears and our eyes and all 5 senses and our intuition so that we can access all of those at the same time. When we can have a space where we are making decisions and choices with all the information available, including the divine,
Yeah.
it makes our lives flow with ease and grace. And it allows us to hear clearly what others are saying and what they need. And it allows them to hear us and what we need.
Yeah.
We're going to loosen the energy around the jaw on either side of the ear.
Yeah.
Where we often clamp down energetically, trying to control the universe and our lives.
Yeah.
And even if we just release it in this one moment, just giving ourselves space to just allow ourselves to receive clarity and healing that can come through this meditation and this clearing.
Yeah.
And it opens those pockets where we have squeezed our energy.
Yeah.
And stopped ourselves from being who we are and who we are meant to be.
Yeah.
And releasing all the tension and the stress and the burdens that is running down the back of the neck and off the shoulders.
Yeah.
Where it settles and squeezes in those headaches that you may get or the neck aches, and just really allowing those muscles to fill with the divine clearing, releasing all of the ways that we squeeze our thought patterns and squeeze our energy to accommodate others.
Yeah.
And then really stepping into a place where
Yeah.
you can begin to feel the top of your chest just expanding and opening in the breath. Making room for your life to be full, complete,
Yeah.
and releasing those old places of doubt and worry. places where you have closed your heart
Yeah.
in a way to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Any disappointment or grief that you may have stored in that space, especially between the shoulder blades.
Yeah.
And allowing your heart to really fill and clear. A lot of energy gets triggered this time of year. And that's because it is ready to release.
Yeah.
So allowing yourself to take action in releasing it before it creates an unwanted reaction within you.
Yeah.
Really breathing energy into your divine inner child. The one who reminds you how to feel joy and excitement, anticipation, wonder.
Yeah.
And giving that child space to really stretch and breathe and be free.
Yeah.
Giving them permission to play.
Yeah.
And as we move into the areas where we hold our resentment, our frustration, old judgments and assumptions that we've made based on old energy, just really making room for that to move and releasing anytime anyone has done that to us, causing us to feel less than or unseen or unheard.
Yeah.
Releasing those pockets where we've doubted ourselves or felt like we weren't enough.
Yeah.
Releasing the energy around perfection. Nothing is perfect, but everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Even mistakes are perfect, for they teach us wonderful lessons.
Yeah.
And releasing the old anger, those grudges that we've held on to forever.
Yeah.
Or that others have held on to that we have been able to unleash or release on our side.
Yeah.
And allowing our self-esteem and our self-worth to fill rather than compress. Pushing back against the energy that might attempt to make us smaller.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And really in this space, just allowing the energy to move downward as it's clearing its way out of our body and releasing any old emotions that are stuck within us that could be triggered by somebody else through their words or their actions, and just allowing those stuck energies to release. Opening the pathways of communication in our relationships with others, creating a more positive flow that can carry us into a new year in a new way.
Yeah.
Releasing all those places within us where dark energy, darkness may be stored, and filling it with light, with love and understanding,
Yeah.
compassion.
Yeah.
And allowing ourselves to fill in such a way that we can remember the juicy divine being that we are,
Yeah.
who's meant to be here to experience all the pleasure and all the pain so that we can fully live in each and every moment.
Yeah.
And really allowing the energy to go into your hips and down your legs,
Yeah.
clearing the last spaces of safety and security.
Yeah.
For as you clear out those old, ancient, fearful energies, all the worry and anxiety and stress can just melt down your legs into the roots of the earth.
Yeah.
And as that happens, just really allow as much to flush down as possible. The Mother Earth will compost it and turn it into beautiful new things. Fresh trees and flowers and food and water that we all need. And we can share it with others in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
And now take a moment to feel any places where you may still need to do a little house clearing on your personal temple. Are you having some tightness still in your neck? And if so, just allow that divine energy to come in and sweep away anything that is lingering. And you do not need to know what it is. So if you're having difficulty in your neck or in your head, in your belly or in your chest,
Yeah.
just really focus on bringing even more light to those places of squeezed darkness.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And as a group, we have a lot of those places where we hide energy in the corners
Yeah.
of our body. Really allow it to fully go down your legs and into the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now ask that the divine fill your whole being with light, releasing the shadows,
Yeah.
knowing that the shadows can still come in the darkness, but that in this moment you're just filled with these beautiful rays of divine white light.
Yeah. Yeah.
all the way through your belly and down your legs.
Got it.
Make sure it goes all the way down your feet and through your feet into the ground.
Yep.
You deserve to have this light just fully fill you.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Nice. So, take a few deep breaths and just really come back to yourself, come back to the moment.
Got it.
And here you are. So again, I am Polly Jo Labbe, and I am your host here on Chakra Sessions, and we have been doing some winter clearing. People talk about spring cleaning, but each one of the solstice and equinox celebrations is created in a way to clear out the old and bring in the new. And in winter, as you're clearing out the old, the new may not show up at your door right in the middle of winter. It's part of that hibernation season, and it's time for you to create things that you want to occur in the spring. And so big plans and big changes are perfect to work on and make space for in this time, knowing that it can have, 3 months to percolate. And then in the spring equinox energy, it can just explode into bloom. And this is a time on Thursday when we have the winter solstice. It is the darkest day of the year. And that as the darkness approaches, many of us activate, like I had said earlier, we activate those ancient fears and worries about the darkness. Because imagine being in a time period when you didn't know necessarily if the sun was going to return. And winter was always a time where if spring didn't come quick enough, you might not have food and you might not survive. So that survival instinct is still active in parts of our energy body. It's just whether you're able to pacify it and say, that is no longer true for me. That is completely up to you. Because we know in this day and age, there are ways to take care of ourselves that we don't have to worry quite the same way. There are ways to stay warm. There are ways to have food. There are ways to have shelter in traditional and non-traditional ways. And community is much larger than it used to be. We may not feel connected to our community as tightly as we did in those times, but there are so many ways to reach out to a larger community in the day of social media. I mean, I'm reaching you right now, and most of you aren't even in driving distance to me, so we would never have met. But this can be part of your community, if you understand, to help you with those moments of dark that seem like you are all by yourself. We are all here together to heal each other and clear each other so that we can bring beautiful new things for our own lives, but then that radiates out on a planetary level. So as we clear and take care of ourselves, we clear and take care of everyone around us. So thank you for showing up today. in this beautiful way. So one of the things I wanted you to encourage you to do is to really go out. Here's my snow angel. Really go out and play. We tend to hibernate. We tend to, not do things. We tend to really go to a place where, we are just not able to do that any longer. But there are so many ways to play. When we go into hibernation mode, back in the day, you sort of were built, you didn't exercise, you didn't do things you added fat on so that you could have it stored up for when there wasn't enough food toward the end of winter before spring. So it was like, we used to do that. So now we have to, our body still wants to be in that mode of adding on, and we don't play. When there wasn't TV and video and computers, people actually did things. They made things, and that inner child who has all the joy and wonder, especially this time of year, wants to feel the excitement, wants to play, wants to do things that really make space for them to be seen and heard. And we all hold that child within us. So I'm encouraging you to do things, to go out and play in the snow, play around the snow, play with friends and family. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to spend money to do that. It's a great time to play board games and have hot cocoa or tea or whatever is your thing. And maybe you take turns with a group of friends and you each host a different week. And it's just a way to gather together and create a community. And you can even do it online. Create a group of people to play with, because there are a whole lot of ways to do that. So as you are looking at your energy right now and what the winter solstice brings for you, I'm really going to encourage you to write down. I like to do it on 2 separate pieces of paper. Have one piece of paper that is all about things that aren't working in your life that you would like to release. And as I said earlier, I would really like to release difficulty in communication. I have it on multiple levels where, people don't say what they need, and then I can't guess what they need. And so how do I get that energy to change so they feel comfortable to tell me what they need so that I can make a change and help them with that? And in addition, there may be things like, you want to change your eating patterns. Really, that has to do with releasing the need for protection, for the body armor, because we usually armor up when we feel unsafe. So getting your energy to a place where you feel safe. What patterns do you have that make you feel not so safe or make you feel insecure about yourself? And finding places where that could change. You don't have to know the answer. You can just know what the problem is. And making a list of things that, are almost like a wish list of, if I possibly could, I would love to change this. And hey, divine universe, how do I change this in my life? And so make a list of all the things that don't work in your life, and then make a separate list of all the things that you would love to have in your life, even if they're a stretch or a dream. Maybe you want to go on a vacation to a specific place, or maybe you want to have more time to spend with friends or family, or maybe you want to make new friends. Or maybe you want to be able to pay all your bills on time. Whatever it is, none of them are out of reach. You know, the divine is open to infinite possibilities, and it depends on how open you are to those possibilities as well. So make those two lists. Take some time. And on Thursday, do something for yourself as a ritual, to ask the gods or the goddesses or the ancestors to hear your prayers, hear what you're asking for. I personally like to burn them. I create a sacred fire, and our sacred fire has, sometimes I put sage in it or salt in it, rose petals or lavender. It sort of depends. Sometimes I even ask crystals to go into the fire to help it. But just the simple act of burning and asking the divine to help you release those things in your life or help bring those things into your life, and just do something sweet. And if you can't burn it, you can always soak it in salt water and then just throw it out. It's all about the intention that you're asking for help and you're asking for guidance, which is what is needed. So, that's where we're looking at things for the winter solstice. I have my I never got to say good morning to Margaret. So good morning, Margaret. I'm sorry I didn't get to see that. And I know Christina was here as well, too. So I'm going to say hello to Christina. So one of the things that you can think about as you head into this holiday season, try not to allow your energy to get triggered, which is one of the hardest things to do on the planet. And what I mean by triggered is there are people who know how to push our buttons, and they've pushed them before, and they know which ones work. So they know where the on-off switch is for you, and you know where it is for them. So when you have something called a trigger, when you can stay in a space of not falling for it this time around, I'm not falling for it. You can say all you want. It's not going to bother me. Really, it takes the fun out of them poking at you. And so when you can go in with your heart space, it makes life a lot easier. So one of the things that I learned from a beautiful shaman that has to do with the chakras is that we can imagine our chakras as beams of light, which they are, but we often don't focus them as a flashlight or a spotlight. And when you want to send out love and compassion, and you want to receive love and compassion, you can literally light up your heart chakra with a beautiful green and send green energy out to everyone you meet. You can also accomplish that by wearing green. So in the holiday spirit, when people are wearing red or green, red is very grounding, believe it or not, but it accesses our energy to feel safe and secure. And green allows us to feel love and compassion. So it's why those two colors for Christmas are so powerful. And interestingly enough, when you move into Hanukkah, Hanukkah uses the throat chakra, the blue, to allow you to speak your inner truth, and the white of the divine, so that it's the divine truth that's coming through. So using those colors and those beams to really send that energy out. So if somebody won't hear you when you're speaking, imagine the green of your heart going out and the blue of your throat, so that they're really hearing the words or receiving the words from where they're intended, from a loving space. And if you get into a place where there's a lot of bully energy and you feel uncomfortable, you can light up your solar plexus, your personal sun, right below your ribs, with a bright yellow beam. Because think about how we all calm down when we're sort of basking in the sunlight. It's also a distraction, but you would send out the yellow with the green. You don't really want them to go just yellow. You want them to go out together, because that allows them to know that you're asking that your personal power be from your heart. And how cool is that? We can just focus on being like a giant stoplight, sending energy to our relatives that, normally would trigger us and impact how we get to experience our holiday. But I do want to really remind you that you guys are really, excuse me, in this space where you can create a whole new holiday, because you don't have to react the way you've always reacted. You can ask that to be released. Oh, sorry, Margaret. I'm sorry you lost me.
Yeah.
Yes, we get rid of what we want to. We don't get rid of what we want. We get rid of what we don't want. And when you burn them, you burn both. So I think that was what Margaret's question was. So yes, when you're doing the ritual, you burn or throw out what you want and what you don't want, both lists, because you're asking for it, you're grounding it on the paper so that it is rooted in reality, and then you offer it back up to the divine to take it and clear it for you. So in those moments, when you want to step into your power at the holiday gatherings, remember, keeping your channel clear involves really being in your energy and not absorbing the energy of others. And you can do that by just sending out a beam of light from your heart. And you can wear the colors to help out. And white is, the divine light. It can be a little uncomfortable to wear white for some people unless they really feel that they can stand in that the whole time they're at a party. Blue is really about opening up your ability to speak what you feel and what you need from your authentic place, not from your ego place, which is helpful. Green is speaking and living from your heart space. Yellow can be from your personal power. So gold can be part of your, letting you stand and be in your personal power. The orange color is for being open in relationships. That can be a little bit difficult to wear, especially because it relates to all your relationships, including food and money and all of that. So at the holidays, it may be a difficult color to wear. And then red is all about keeping you grounded, feeling safe and secure. And if you happen to wear black, it's blocking everybody's energy, but it's also blocking your energy from being received. So if you feel the need to, wear black, wear it on your bottom, because then it doesn't allow the energy to impact your feeling of safety and security. And then you wear your other color on the top to send out the message of what you really would like to be out there. But if you're in a really negative space, you can wear black, but it also means that they're not going to feel any love energy coming from you. So that can be a little bit difficult if you wear all black. Unless you're really in a good heart space, and then, you know, you can wear whatever color you want. And sometimes I just like to wear, you know, the gamut, the rainbow, to remind them that they're their whole energy body, and that they're really in that space of, you know, having their chakras be in balance and their life be in balance, if that's possible. You can even pay attention to what colors you wrap your gifts in, so that they're receiving a gift from you in that color. So all of these things can impact and really clear the way for you to have a beautiful, peaceful holiday from a love space. So I hope that there's some things that will help you on the clearing. I will post some of my clearing suggestions on the Facebook page, Chakra Sessions with Polly Jo Labbe, because I think they're really, really helpful for people to refer back to. And I know sometimes it's hard to hear it in just a verbal way. So I'll make sure that I'll have some of those posted for you guys. And I will be here next week on Tuesday, even though it is the day after Christmas. I have made a commitment to myself to really show up as best as I can. And sometimes, you know, it's a little scattered, but thank you for allowing me to be here and showing up for you. I wanted to tell you about Trinity Healing Sanctuary is the location of where I have my healing practice, and where my school is located. And we have some lovely events coming up. And if you are in Massachusetts, or, you know, within Hartford or New Hampshire, we're having a lovely Winter Solstice celebration on Thursday night from 6 to 8. We have a potluck dinner that we share as a community, as well as doing the releasing energy, and calling in the ancient energy to help us in these times to release the darkness within ourselves and around the planet. So you can join us for that if you are nearby. And in addition, there is a great new program that is launching. I will put the contact on Chakra Sessions page as well. But it is a great program called Jumpstart, and it is an online study program where it's 14 weeks, where you spend 2 weeks in each chakra learning all about it, what it does, how it affects your life, how you can balance it, what to eat, what to do for exercises, all of that. So you can have this primer available to help you, and you get to do it at your own pace. And every 2 weeks we do a conference call where we gather together to see what's been going on for people while they were in the energy of the chakra. And then I do a beautiful clearing meditation to release you from anything that you may have stirred up by studying the material, because you will actually move energy simply by reading. And we tested it out this summer, and it's been a beautiful program. So I'm so happy to share it with you, and the link will be on there as well. So if you need to get some information about that sooner, you can go to trinitymysticalenergy.com and click on the link Jumpstart, because we want you to create a jumpstart in your life and a jumpstart to your transformation. It's sort of our primer for our 3-year school, because not everybody can do that, but everybody can benefit from knowing how to work with the energy body that we all have, to help with our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies, and really keep them open to healing and being in a new space. So I want to wish you a beautiful holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate. And even if you don't celebrate, have a wonderful winter solstice. So early happy winter to everyone. And I can't wait to see you guys all next week. And when I do, I will be really, really happy to see you. So have a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all of that. But I will be here next week. So if you want some help with those New Year's resolutions, and I'll even have some special giveaways next week. So I hope to see you then. Have a great day. Bye, guys.